So that's state. What about props? So props contains data that comes from the outside. If you have data that originated outside your component and you need it inside your component. Now, realistically, this generally involves more than one component. You could theoretically pass a prop right here inside a React DOM render, but that's kind of silly. So let's add a second component real quick. I'll just throw another one up here at the top. It'll be a very simple one. Class Acrobat extends React.component. Have a render method. That render method will just return an li. And that li, well, I want it to do the Acrobat name, but I want to be able to reuse this Acrobat component for every single Acrobat. So the name of the Acrobat shouldn't be managed in my state. It should come from a prop. It should come from the outside. So I will say, inside curly braces, this.props.acrobat. So I will expect a prop called Acrobat to come from the outside. And that's my entire component. So I can use this component inside my app component. And you use it the way you use any other JSX element. So you're basically creating custom HTML elements. That's how it feels when you use it inside JSX. So now, instead of li Acrobat here, I could put an Acrobat tag. And the Acrobat tag expects a prop called Acrobat. You see right now, I've got 4 empty bullets. So it did it, but the li has nothing in between because this.props.acrobat wasn't actually set. So I just pass a prop called Acrobat and set it to this argument, Acrobat. And it works. Notice I have no closing tag because there's nothing that would go in between. So I make it a self-closing tag with the slash before the closing angle bracket. So now I'm including one component inside another, and I've made a truly reusable component because now I call Acrobat 4 times or 5 times. So I will include this component on the page once for everything that's in that Acrobat's array. That's a lot of Acrobat. Acrobats, Acrobat, 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 Acrobat.
Which one's which exactly?
Yeah. So this.state.acrobats is our original array, right?
Okay.
And the rest of this is an arrow function. So this is a function of our own making. So Acrobat is simply the name that we have given to the argument. Yeah, which will be each one from the array. So it will get passed in as the local variable Acrobat. Capital A Acrobat, that's the name of a component. Acrobat here is the name of a prop. So that is a prop that will be exposed inside here. If I had said, I could have said name here, and then up into my other component, I would have said this.props.name. So let's do that actually. So now the Acrobat component expects a prop called name. So I pass that in by putting the prop name with the value that is the local variable Acrobat. Sure. Yeah, this.props.name. Yeah, it's the same word a lot of times. So I could say feet equals the string being shot out of a cannon. Now I've got a prop called feet with a string value being shot out of a cannon. So up here, I can put comma, this.props feet. Tonight's roster: Megan being shot out of a cannon, Jake 8000 being shot out of a cannon, Jake 9000 being shot out of a cannon, and Dana being shot out of a cannon. It's kind of a repetitive circus, but impressive nonetheless. Make sense? So when you start building something new with React, if you have an idea of what you want the finished product to look like, the first thing you might do is try to identify what the different components should be. So you break your page up into little components in your head or on paper or wherever. And that's kind of how you start a lot of times.